Hello, everybody, and welcome to a brand new era here in 2022. This is the first edition of Wednesday Night Mayhem live on YouTube and StreamYard.com. What's good, everybody? It is good old MF Michael Fletcher alongside my good friend Anthony Florio. We are awaiting Michael Bullock. We don't know if he's going to be here or not tonight. If he is, great. If he's not, then we'll probably see him tomorrow night for I guess you could say, the regular season finale of NFL Thursday. Of course, next weekend will be Super Wildcard Weekend, and as an added bonus for all you great fans out there this week, we also will be previewing the national championship game tomorrow night as well. So, with that said, we got wrestling tonight. We're gonna do it the usual. NXT New Year's Evil was last night, and then of course we will continue that with AEW Dynamite starting their new era on TBS, the sister station of TNT. With that said, we start off with New Year's Evil, and we have ourselves a champion versus champion, title for title unification bout. The Cruiserweight Champion of the World, Roderick Strong, versus the North American Champion, Carmelo Hayes. The winner of the bout, 15 minutes, 29 seconds, and the brand new unified champion is Carmelo Hayes. He successfully defends the North American champion and thus becomes the new Cruiserweight Champion of the world. Great start to the show. Amazing match. 3.5 stars for me. This was excellent. The body of work of both men was great. I think a lot of people knew that Carmelo Hayes was probably going to win the match after there was the rumors that they were thinking about getting rid of the Cruiserweight Championship. We don't know what that's going to mean now for the Cruiserweight title, but they have indeed classified it as the unified North American Championship now. So I'm guessing now with that belt, basically that opens the door for anybody at the 205 level to now fight for the North American Championship. So it kind of opens the door for anybody to jump in here and go for this belt. So the North American title now adds more prestige. There's now more, I guess you could say, more excitement to that title because of the fact that now Carmelo Hayes will not only have to fight big men, but now he's got to have to fight guys around the 205 level now. Because if it's a unified belt, that means that belt will be defended more often. So now you got all these guys at 205 probably going to be gunning for this unified title. So we'll see how it plays out. But this was a great way to start the show. So nothing more to say. Anthony Florio, it is all yours.
What was that time again?
15:29.
15:29. All right. 3.5 to 3 3/4 of a star for me. Unsurprisingly, this absolutely delivered. Carmelo Hayes is an unreal athlete that delivered in spades to further establish his dominance for NXT. The only real problem was how predictable this was. Roderick Strong never even felt like he had a chance. However, it was a fun showcase of two great wrestlers giving their all, even without the drama of most unification matches. The right man is now the undisputed champion. Melo will continue to carry NXT for years to come, and I just hope he can translate that when he eventually makes the jump to Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown. 3.5 to 3 3/4 of a star. Great way to start it off. And Michael Bullock is here, so Phenom, right on time. We have a new unified champion, and he is Carmelo Hayes. He won the match 15 minutes and 29 seconds.
Yeah, 3.5 stars for me. I mean, this was a really good match to kick off this edition of New Year's Evil, and yeah, I mean, yeah, Carmelo Hayes is the undisputed champ, and now who knows what's next for him now. So yeah, there's really nothing more to say. So Fletch, let's move on.
All right, next fight of the night that we had was Imperium, Walter, NXT Tag Team Champions, Marcel Bartel and Fabian Eichner. They went up against MSK, Wesley, Nash Carter, and one half of the WWE Raw Tag Team Champions. Bullock, he's the shaman.
Bro.
Matt Riddle. And when it was all said and done, the winners of the bout in 13 minutes and 50 seconds was MSK and Matt Riddle, as Matt Riddle hits an RKO out of nowhere on Matthew Bartel. Anthony Florio, it is all yours. We were talking funny ha-ha going in. This was a damn good match.
Did you expect anything different? Another 3.5 to 3 3/4 star match. This was a ton of fun. All 6 men brought energy to this match, though Walter versus Riddle was clearly the big highlight. The two battled like main event acts, trading blows at every turn while ordering their partners into the best position to succeed. Walter losing his first match as a full member of the NXT roster was disappointing, but the story made sense. This was about establishing MSK once more as a viable challenger to Imperium. The Shaman brought out an extra energy in the challengers. Hopefully we'll get to see both MSK versus Imperium and Riddle versus Walter as separate matches before this is over. Another 3.5 to 3 3/4 star match. Michael Bullock, it is yours.
Yeah, this was another 3.5 star match. I mean, nice win here for Riddle and MSK, and who knows? Maybe this definitely puts MSK in a spot where they'll challenge Imperium for the tag titles. So, yeah, nice big win for MSK. So, there's really nothing more to say. Fletch, it is yours.
It also could be setting up because remember, guys, they just announced also at New Year's Evil the Dusty Classic is coming back for the men and the women. And as a matter of fact, the Dusty Classic for the men starts next week. So MSK will definitely be a factor in this tournament. And remember, the winners of this tournament is guaranteed a title shot at the NXT World Tag Team Championship. MSK won it last year, went on to win the titles. Could it be 2 years in a row for MSK? Is it possible that they win it again and get that shot at the title? So maybe there was some foreshadowing with what happened last night. Maybe they might be setting up for Imperium versus MSK again for this time for the belts. You know, get the Shaman, get all that mojo going, and the next thing you know, we could see how this plays out. So as far as the women's tournament, it's supposed to start in February, is what we've heard. But next week, the men jump in and we get that tournament going. I don't know how many teams are in it. We'll find that out. I guess next week they'll drop the bracket on us at some point. So we'll see. But yeah, nothing more to say. Next up, well, here we go, guys. It was ladies' night, and this was quite a delight. NXT Women's Title on the line. The champion, Mandy Rose from Toxic Attraction, going up against the skateboarding chick, Cora Jade, and the powerhouse Raquel Gonzalez. When it was all said and done, winner of the bout, 12 minutes and 33 seconds, and still the NXT Women's Champion, Mandy Rose, successfully defends the title. Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, 3.25 is my rating for this match. I mean, this was a fine match here. I mean, to me, the outcome was never in doubt. I mean, I think we knew Mandy Rose was gonna retain the title because I mean, look, Raquel Gonzalez just had it. It makes no sense to put the title back on her. For Cora Jade, it was too soon to give it to her, so this was indeed the right outcome. So, but yeah, don't worry, folks. For you Cora Jade fans, she'll get another opportunity. We just don't know when. So she'll be champion in the future. It's just not right now. So Fletch, it is yours.
Totally agree with Michael Bullock here. Cora Jade, I think, is only like 20 or 21 years old, guys. I mean, she's a young pup in this NXT world right now. And she has the look. She has the style, she has the attitude, and she's got that little bit of an underdog story because I don't think nobody really thinks Cora Jade is gonna get the belt at some point. She will. They're booking her the right way. She has something that I like. She's got that likable factor. And right now, Mandy Rose is having the best career right now. She is really established herself as one of the top, faces on the NXT women's roster. Now, don't get me wrong, she still has some green in her, and I think I would love to see her get a little bit better in certain areas. And Raquel Gonzalez is the power of it, and she really exploited it in this match, and it was really well done on so many levels. So there's a lot that you could enjoy about this match, and this was solid. I don't think there was anything bad about this match. I kind of felt like it could have gone a number of ways. There was a moment where I really thought Cora was going to win the title. Like, there was a moment where I'm like, oh my God, are they going to strap her? Well, unfortunately, no. Even though the outcome was never in doubt, but there was a couple of hope spots, and there was even a moment in this match where even myself was pulling for Cora Jade to win this belt. So at the end of the day, it was what it was. It was a heartbreaker, but look, like I said, Mandy Rose and Toxic Attraction is probably the best thing in the women's division right now on NXT. It was too soon to take the belt off her. She's red hot right now. Did you see the entrance they gave her before the match? The helicopter coming in, and it was very reminiscent of Charlotte Flair's entrance at WrestleMania 35, where she coming in the helicopter at MetLife. It was that good. So, no, she is a star, and they made her look like a star here last night. All three did really well. 3.5 stars for me. Anthony Floyer, what's yours?
By default, this was the worst fight of the night, even though there was nothing wrong with it whatsoever, because every match on this was really good. I'm more into Michael Bullock's rating. I'm leaning more towards 3 to 3.25 for this. Raquel Gonzalez was on fire in this match, and she delivered in spades. It was clearly her match from start to finish, selling her as the dominant force, even if she could not win. This was smart booking, as Cora Jade was especially not quite ready for this moment. The young wrestler is clearly a future star for NXT, but she had a tough time in moments keeping up. The finish was awkward, as Mandy Rose and Cora Jade could not get on the same page. It makes sense for Mandy Rose to retain, as it was only her first ever defense. However, she has not shown yet that she is up to task as a long-term champion for NXT's talented women's division. But 3 to 3.25. I more agree with Bullock's rating. By default, it was the worst fight of the night, even though there was nothing wrong with it. So there isn't much more to say. I believe it's main event time, isn't it, MF?
It is an event, and it was for the NXT title as Braun Breaker goes up against the reigning champion Tommaso Ciampa, winner of the bout. 15 minutes, 27 seconds, and new NXT champion Braun Breaker. He finally does it. He realizes his dream, and now he is the kingpin in NXT as the new champion. Solid main event, another 3.5-star match. This was good wrestling psychology. I loved how they set it up. When Braun Breaker lost the first time around, he made a mistake, a rookie mistake. This time around, he capitalized on the right moment, took the right time, was patient enough, and made the most of the moment. When Ciampa looked like he had the moment, Breaker nailed him with a nice axe kick. I think that's what he was trying to do in the first one, but slipped, and that led to the fairy tale ending. And that ended his dreams of becoming NXT champion. This time around, he hit him with that move, set it up, and then hit him with I guess you could say his version of the Steiner recliner, and got a tap out victory on Tommaso Ciampa to win the NXT championship. Now we're on to the Braun Breaker era. He's now the new leader of this NXT 2.0. At the end of the day, I know a lot of people are criticizing it because of the fact that, he's only wrestled for about a year or so, got in there. Yes, we know who his family is. I mean, his father is the dog-faced gremlin, Rick Steiner. His uncle is Scott Steiner, Big Papa Pump. And you kind of feel like, okay, here we go. Could this be another one of those Randy Orton type stories or Charlotte Flair type stories? It's the family pedigree that gets them to the belt. I hope it doesn't go there, but there are going to be some people out there that will openly say that. I will say on a defense of this that it looks like he definitely has the makings of being a good, solid star. But like we said, there's still going to be some opportunities. And now he's the face of NXT. That's a big ask for him. Do you know the lineage or the guys who've held that belt to tell you what that means in the history of NXT? I hope Braun Breaker is ready for this moment. I don't know. We'll wait and see. But now the sky's the limit because now he is the one holding that title. So this was a solid main event. I don't think there was anything bad about it, even though the outcome was predictable. But congratulations, Braun Breaker. You are the new champion. Anthony Florio, it's yours.
This was the fight of the night for me. 4 to 4.25 stars. With no commercial breaks, this match showcased the full story of the talented rookie versus the wily veteran. For every powerful move from Braun Breaker, Tommaso Ciampa had to answer with multiple moves to keep him off his feet. Breaker made small mistakes, but always responded with massive offense. It was clear once again that Ciampa was the rare man that could truly beat this dominant combination of power and speed. However, Breaker was just a little bit better last night, and that was the difference. Breaker proved so much in the ring last night, and it is clear that he was ready for this. He feels like an absolute stud, ready to carry NXT for much of 2022. It'll be interesting to see if anyone can truly challenge the young man soon. This was the biggest moment NXT 2.0 has produced to date, and it was the first true match of the year contender of the new year. The future looks bright for this brand, finding its voice and stars slowly but surely. I know we're probably going to be back to reality show next week, but boy, howdy, what we had very high expectations for this show going in, and I'm not surprised that they delivered. Maybe they may have even over-delivered, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. But before I give it to Bullock, I don't know if you guys noticed it. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but after the show went off the air, a certain someone went into the ring and congratulated Braun Breaker.
I heard about it.
And it was none other than the dog-faced gremlin himself.
Yep.
I saw it.
The father of Braun Breaker, the one and the only Rick Steiner, coming into the ring to congratulate his son. And boy, howdy, if that doesn't give you goosies, I don't know what the hell does.
And actually,
And I don't know, and I don't know, and I don't know
Go
if you
ahead,
saw
Paul.
as well, but even Tommaso Ciampa showed some respect to Rick Steiner.
Yeah, actually, actually to clarify about the story, because yes, it was confirmed by multiple sources, not just our guys, but at the Wrestling Forum, but multiple sources reported this last night, that after the match was over, that yes, Tommaso Ciampa went over to the railing and actually shook the hand of Rick Steiner. And then Steiner jumped the fence, went into the ring to congratulate his son, Braun Breaker. So, yes, that was confirmed, like I said, by multiple sources last night at NXT.
Yeah, and
Really cool
obviously,
moment. Really cool moment.
absolutely a cool moment. And but the one other thing I'm wondering is what's going through his uncle's mind right now. Big Papa Pump, Scott Steiner. I mean, you can only imagine he's probably just as proud of his nephew as brother Rick was for his sons. So, but a special moment. I wish we could have gotten this on the air, but obviously they wanted this to be a private moment. I can understand that. So, but man, what a special moment, and to see the dog-faced gremlin Rick Steiner, and to be in there with his son. I mean, that's a special moment right there. So, a perfect way to cap off what was a damn near perfect night. Even though I'm fearing that it's probably going to be a back to reality show, although they do have some good matches lined up for next week. So
yeah,
but nonetheless, 4 to 4.25 stars. This was the fight of the night for me. So, Michael Bullock, are you ready to move forward with now it looks like the true NXT. I mean, the true NXT guys is now slowly but surely really fading away. I mean, we got a young new champion, and of course, the man who was the heart and soul of NXT, Mr. William Regal, released by the WWE today. Now, if that's not the end of an era for NXT, Bullock, tell me what is.
I think that is the end of an era. I mean, for the original NXT, I mean, of course now it's on to the new era, especially now with Braun Breaker leading the charge now. I mean, yeah, 4.25, definitely the fight of the night. I mean, yeah, Braun Breaker, you could see that he definitely learned from his mistakes in the first time he met with Tommaso Ciampa for the title. He learned from it, and this time around he got it done. And yeah, Rick Steiner is a proud father, and somewhere out there, Scott Steiner is definitely got to be proud too. So, congratulations, Braun Breaker. It's a perfect moment for you. So, yeah, there's really nothing more to say except let's move on. Fletch, to our overall review, and then of course, it's our review of AEW Dynamite on TBS.
Yeah. First off, let's get out of the I guess the customary stuff. Overall review. Anthony Flair, was yours.
And what a great show. I mean, oof, amazing. Like I said, I'm fearing the worst when it comes to next week. I'm fearing it's going to be back to the usual nonsense that that we've been so accustomed to since this whole thing started. But with that being said, outstanding show last night, and what else is there to say? I mean, every match delivered. I mean, yes, there was really only one bad segment on the show, which was that Andre Chase and Von Wagner stuff. But other than that, I mean, the segment with AJ Styles and Grayson Waller was even good. But this was a 9. I can't believe I'm doing this, and this may be the only time, unless we get another special down the road. But I'm pulling the trigger. 9 out of 10. Every people have every right to be disappointed by NXT 2.0. I mean, we all have been, but they can still bring it out for the special episodes. And this show delivered on everything. We didn't have a single bad match. We had 2 absolute undisputable bangers. Well, you can make an argument that they were all bangers, really. And the only thing that was even remotely not good was the Wagner Chase segment. Well-paced show that felt like the best of old NXT and new, and featured a passing of the torch as well with Tommaso Ciampa and Braun Breaker. For me, I felt this delivered in every way. And next week, we got AJ Styles. We're getting AJ Styles versus Grayson Waller as the main event. You got Zion Quinn versus Santos Escobar, and Electra Lopez is going to go with the winner. And on top of that, we got Pete Dunne versus Tony D'Angelo in a match that I'm very convinced Vince Russo had a hand in. Crowbar and a pole match. Yeah, that's a Vince Russo thing. But all kidding aside, those 3 matches all have potential to be good. And who knows, maybe they could get a passable rating next week. I don't think it's darn sure not going to be high as this. You know they're going to throw the nonsense in there, of course. But other than that, this was a damn near perfect show. This was a 9 out of 10 for me. Michael Bullock, take a bow, my friend. I mean, NXT 2.0, a shining moment for you guys. It was doubtful that we would ever see a shining moment from NXT 2.0, but boy, howdy. When they put the effort in, they deliver. And now that they've achieved this,
Yeah,
I'm hoping that we don't get anything less than this, even though I'm fearing back to reality next week. But other than that, man, hey, 9 out of 10. And like I just said, it's the end of an era and the start of a new one with your outstanding new young champion, Braun Breaker.
yeah. I mean, I'm with you, Florio. I'm fearing that it's going to be it's going to be a back to reality show next week. But you never know with the matches that are going to be up for next week. I mean, Zion Quinn and Santos Escobar, and Electra Lopez will go with the winner. Pete Dunne and Tony D'Angelo, and then of course AJ Styles and Grayson Waller. So you never know. I mean, it probably won't be as high as a 9 out of 10, which I'm giving this edition of NXT New Year's Evil. But yeah, tonight's episode was really, really good. Whenever they have these specials, they always tend to deliver, and that's what they did here tonight. So 9 out of 10 for me. But like Florio said, I'm fearing that it's going to be a back to reality edition of NXT 2.0 next week. So I hope I'm wrong, but I'm not holding my breath on that. So Fletch, it is yours.
Yeah, and actually there is actually one other match that got added, and that's Amari Miller, Casey Catanzaro, and Kaden Carter. They're going up against Indy, Portia, and I guess a new character in NXT, Wendy Chu is her name. Because first off, they weren't gonna do the Tiffany Stratton, but then Tiffany backed out, and basically Wendy Chu took in, which is the repackaged Mia Ying. So that's who that is, and that's gonna be a 6-woman tag. That's also been added to NXT next week. So they got a pretty loaded show. This is going to be an interesting night. Hopefully, we'll wait and see. But as far as last night go, absolutely 9 out of 10. And I will openly admit it. Out of all of the NXT 2.0 shows, I might openly say this was the best of them all. This is the best show yet. Better than War Games, better than Halloween Havoc. As far as this NXT 2.0 era, I think this was the best show ever. So under this new 2.0 banner, this was their best show. Obviously, it's nowhere near the perfections that we've had in the past with NXT Takeover events. But as far as special events, this was excellent. This was amazing. So I really got nothing more to add. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for AEW and the debut on TBS. So here we go. We welcome you guys as they started it from the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. And we started it off, well, why not? It went down. They did this a couple of weeks ago. They started it. We had a 60-minute classic. It was for the AEW World Championship. Adam Hangman Page versus Bryan Danielson, the winner of the bout, in 29 minutes and 10 seconds. And still, the AEW World Champion, Adam Hangman Page. Excellent match. It was right there. Great storytelling, great body of work. The wrestling was amazing. The wrestling psychology was top notch. The outcome was never in doubt for me. Yes, there was a moment where I thought Danielson was going to win the belt. He did not, thank God. Hangman deserves the moment. He actually solidifies himself as a champion now. 4.5 to 4 3/4. I'm not going to give it the full 5 because the first battle, the 60-minute draw, was just so damn good. But this one was really well done for the time that I got and everything else. It's the fight of the night for me. Anthony, it's yours.
100% agree, MF. 4.5 to 4 3/4 of a star. It took exactly 5 days for AEW to lead the pack with a match of the year candidate, courtesy of the best wrestler in the world, Bryan Danielson, and a ballsy world champion, Hangman Adam Page, coming into his own with every performance. This was a great, physical, bloody, dramatic wrestling match that teased fans with another 60-minute draw, but delivered a definitive end with Hangman retaining. Appropriately violent, and the blood added to the drama, making this a suitable sequel to the original Winter is Coming match 3 weeks ago. The credibility Hangman Adam Page and his title reign gained by way of these two matches with Bryan Danielson and tonight's win is immeasurable. He is absolutely a better champion for both, and that can rarely be said about any competitor in any of the major promotions. A testament to the work put in by all involved in this feud. And now that he's gotten by Danielson, I mean, who's next for the Hangman? Only time will tell. But boy, howdy, what a match. And what a great way to start the TBS era of AEW Dynamite. So if this doesn't pop a significant rating for TBS, then I don't know what the hell will. So well done. Well done. So 4.5, 4 3/4 of a star. This was the fight of the night. And I'll be honest, guys. When they said there were going to be judges, I honestly had this bad feeling it was going to be another draw. I really did, because that's exactly what happened when Sting and Ric Flair had their legendary 45-minute draw at the inaugural Clash of the Champions, March the 27th of '88, which aired the same day as WrestleMania 4. Oh, mind you, and they had judges and the judges couldn't decide on a winner. And that's how it ended in a draw. One went one way, another went another way, and then the other, I think they had 5 judges, actually. I think 2 went with Sting, 2 went with Flair, and 1 had a split decision. So they obviously had to make it a draw. But I'm so glad that the judges did not come into play. Although we had 3 very legitimate judges in the form of Paul White, a.k.a. The Big Show, Jerry Lynn, and the world's strongest man, Mark Henry. I mean, you couldn't get any more credible than that. But I'm glad that they didn't factor in the decision here. Thank goodness for that. 4.5, 4 3/4. Michael Bullock, can you think of a better way to start the TBS era of AEW Dynamite? Can you think of any better way to start it off than with that?
I don't think you could start out the Dynamite era of TBS in any bigger fashion than with this AEW World Title match. I mean, this was the fight of the night, hands down, 4.5 to 4 3/4. I can't give it the full 5. I mean, it did get off to a little bit of a slow start, but it did pick up eventually. But yeah, I mean, somehow I had the feeling that the judges weren't going to be used in play, because there was no way they were going to go with another tie. Because if they did, all I can say is, guys, I mean, the internet wrestling community would have exploded on this one. And then we didn't rant the last time there was a draw, but if there was, I think all three of us would have gone off on this. But thankfully, it didn't come to that, and the right man went over. Adam Hangman Page. I mean, he's been champion for a little while. I mean, I think it was just too soon to put the title on Bryan Danielson. I mean, he'll be champion someday, but this is Adam Hangman Page's time. Let him have a nice long run with that championship. So now the big question is, boys, who's going to be the next one to step up to the Hangman? So nothing more to say. Fletch, let's move on.
All right. So the next thing we had, well, unfortunately, now we had a couple of cutouts. For what reason, I don't know. But there was a couple of cutouts that happened on the fight card. So the next thing that we did have was we had a cutout, and it was Captain Shawn Dean against MJF. Captain Shawn Dean won the match by disqualification. By 1 minute and 23 seconds, because CM Punk decided to GTS Shawn Dean. What? Okay, now I know why this happened. This was shrewd booking by AEW, and this is rare because you're like, Punk. This is Punk trying to get into the head of MJF. It's well played, it's well orchestrated, but why go after Shawn Dean? What did he ever do to you, Punk? I know. You're trying to get into MJF's head. He gets the loser's purse on this one, because when you lose, you get the loser's purse. So it is what it is. But I don't know. I thought that was. After a red hot start, did they really need to do that? Honestly, I know I'm nitpicking here, but that was not cool in my eyes. I'm sorry. I got to cry foul here, guys. After that, then there was a promo between the two, and that was really well done. Next thing we had after that, a couple of more promo stuff. Then we had Wardlow versus Antonio Zambrano. Wardlow wins the match in the minute 23. All right, that was fine. I'm not even gonna get into that. Now we're gonna get into this. History is about to be made, guys. It was Jay Cargill versus Ruby Soho in the finals of the first ever inaugural TBS Championship Tournament. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the tournament and the new TBS champion, Jade Cargill. She wins it all, beating Ruby Soho 11 minutes and 22 seconds. Anthony Florio, like I said, history was made in Newark. Jade Cargill is the inaugural, first ever women's champion in the TBS championship era. It's yours.
I believe I had this one.
Yes, you did. You called it.
Yeah. All right. Let me see. All right. 11:22. I'll give this a solid 3 stars for the effort. It was apparent from early on that this was Jade Cargill's tournament to win. There's nothing wrong with that at all, especially as AEW builds toward the future and looks to enhance a women's division brimming with talent. With that said, Cargill is going to learn on the job. It will not always be pretty, as was the case here. She is a hard worker, genuinely seems to care about her craft, and has the look and athleticism necessary to be an enormous star in the industry. Tony Khan will print money because of Cargill. She has that sort of star power. The in-ring game will have to improve, and it should, especially the more she gets to work with the Ruby Sohos of the world. The question is, how long will it take? And will fans have the patience to wait for her? I think they absolutely should. So I'm going to give it a solid 3, maybe 3.25 for the effort. I think that's the best we can give this. But nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, was the outcome ever really in doubt? It wasn't.
Yeah, but the thing is, Florio, there was part of me that really was hoping that maybe Ruby Soho would be the one to come out.
Me too.
With
Me too.
the title,
especially with how much I love her. Especially going back to the Riot Squad days, how much I've been pining for this girl to get an opportunity. But in due time, that'll come in time.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's only a matter of time before she has it. But yeah, the right outcome was never in doubt. I mean, even though some people would say, "Oh, Ruby Soho should be the one that holds the title," but this was Jade Cargill's tournament to win. This was hers to win the whole time. So, but don't worry, Ruby Soho fans. She'll get her moment eventually. It's just only a matter of time. So there's really nothing more to say. Fletch, it is yours. 3 stars is my rating.
I totally agree. 3 stars. This was a great matchup. I cannot believe that just happened. That was amazing, man. What a battle. It was a good fight. Yes, it was a little slow in some areas, and there was some sloppiness in the match. All right, you know what? I didn't want to do it, and I didn't want to start a rant or somebody firing on somebody tonight. But I guess you could say Dinkelberg, Knucklehead, whatever you want to call him, actually went on social media and opened fired on Jade Cargill. And get ready, boys. But this fan, whoever this is, I don't even know who the fan is, actually had the nerve to call Jade Cargill the AEW's version of Eva Marie.
What?
Yep.
No,
I'm sorry.
Jade Cargill has way more talent than Eva Marie.
I'm sorry. I'm with Florio on this one. Jade Cargill has got way more talent than Eva Marie. I mean, I don't know what kind of wrestling this ham and egger jabroni douchebag was watching, but I mean, Jade Cargill. Look, say what you want about her attitude. I mean, but she can get it done in the ring. But
she's good. She is good. I'll say this. As far as the Eva Marie comparison, there's no comparison. She is light years better than Eva Marie. But I will agree with this. Cargill still needs to work. She's a work in progress. But we can see the progress. Where with Eva Marie, we didn't see nothing with Eva Marie. Where Jade Cargill, she's getting better like every other woman in AEW. Remember, we were poo-pooing over this AEW women's division about a year ago, calling it one of the weakest divisions in AEW. Now the division is getting better with the injection of some of these other women. But you also got guys like Jerry Lynn. You got guys like Mark Henry who are teaching the women how, and they're getting better. I mean, look at Chris Statlander. Look how great she's been. Look at the biggest, the one who I think has had the biggest leap and bound in my mind is Ty Conte. Ty went from being one of like a spunky little spitfire to now being one of the best in AEW. She has a look. She has the quality, the wrestling skills. Now, there's been some people that has criticized AEW for the way that they wrestle, their style, whatever. I mean, they got rid of Big Swole. I'm not even going to get into that because that might open up. That was a Pandora's box that got opened up.
That will open up a can of worms if we talk about it.
And yeah, I do not want to go there.
Me neither.
Because social media exploded this week, and there was some heat and there was some attacks, not just at AEW, but even some AEW talent called out Tony Khan for comments that he made about Big Swole. So trust me, there's enough going around. There was some enough heat going around in AEW land. So we thought WWE was having it bad. AEW was getting lit up like a Christmas tree this past weekend.
And I didn't want to touch it either because
no.
I'm afraid if I say something, it's going to start up a firestorm, and I'm not going there.
Nope.
But I will say one more thing.
Sure.
I mean, when WWE brought Eva Marie back, they were hoping that she would improve, and we never saw any of that. While Jade Cargill, like you said, Fletch, we're starting to see some slow improvements from her, and I think she's going to get better. It's only going to take some time.
I think what it is too, and I think Anthony and Mike, you're going to both agree. I think the more that she gets with better wrestlers, I think the better she's going to become. I mean, just think about what she had to go through in this tournament. Look at the talent she had to go through in this tournament to get to the TBS title. I mean, the semifinal alone, she had a battle against Thunder Rosa? Are you kidding me? Thunder Rosa is one of the best in the game. And now Ruby Soho in the final to win the title? I mean, my goodness. I mean, those are two really good female wrestlers that she faced off against. So anyway, we're just going to move right on along. Next up we had was Brian Pillman Jr. He went up against Malachi Black. Malachi Black wins the match in 6 minutes and 8 seconds. All right, I guess. It was fine. It wasn't anything that we would have expected. I guess nothing new. Black Mask, good win. I didn't really feel any indifferent. I mean, this felt more of a cool-down match than anything else. I'm sorry. I can only give this maybe 2.5 stars. So, Anthony, I give it to you.
Yeah, 2.5 stars. And so begins the countdown of Brody King's arrival. The former Ring of Honor and independent standout reportedly signed with AEW and should debut sooner than later. The introduction of Lucha Brothers to the program suggests Black is going to be looking to debut the newest member of the House of Black. And a feud with the Luchas should result in some stellar in-ring content. If Black's feud with the Varsity Blondes was an intro to the tag team division, it certainly makes sense. Whether that is the best use for a talent of Black's magnitude and skill is another question, though working with a longtime friend against one of the best teams in the world is hardly a bad consolation. 2.5 stars, worst fight of the night. Michael Bullock, quick thought?
Yeah, I'll give it about 2.5 stars. I mean, it was a fine match, but yeah, I mean, this only furthers the thing that Brody King is only a matter of time before he makes his AEW debut with Malachi Black. So there's really nothing more to say. So, Fletch, I think it's main event time.
Main event time. It was for the AEW World Tag Team Championships, as it was the Lucha Brothers putting the titles on the line against Jurassic Express, the winners of the bout, in 14 minutes and 50 seconds. And new AEW World Tag Team Champions, Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, Jurassic Express. They win the tag team titles. Anthony Florio, you said that Jungle Boy was the breakout star of 2021. Mm-hmm. Well, his 2022 starts off in a humongous way, crowning brand new tag team champions of the world. History was indeed made in Newark, New Jersey tonight.
And did I have this one as well?
You called it too, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's right. When you're hot, you're hot. That's all there is to say on that. And now, with all due respect, you guys had all had great choices when it came to who we selected for our breakout star of the year during our show 9 nights ago. But for me, I could have gone with Damian Priest, but the thing was, I mean, it kind of felt like the safe choice. I wanted to, take a, go a different route, and look what happened. I was handsomely rewarded. And on this program a week ago, I went on, or maybe it was on that same special show we did 9 nights ago, where I said that they were going to win the tag team titles tonight, and boy howdy, they did. Second best fight of the night, 4 to 4.25 stars. Ray Phoenix took an ugly bump and very clearly injured his arm. One can only hope he can heal up and bounce back from it sooner rather than later, because at his best, he's one of the best performers in the industry. The match itself was the same excellent effort from all involved that we have seen out of these two teams before. Lucha Bros working as de facto heels and dropping the titles after the Black Tees was an interesting choice, but it was beyond time for Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus to hoist the titles. They had come too close too often, and another loss threatened to adversely affect their ability to have the moment their story deserved. The tag division is so incredibly stacked right now that just about any team could believably challenge for and win the titles on any given week. Look for Team Red Dragon, Kyle O'Reilly, and Bobby Fish to be the first team to pose a legitimate threat to the new champions' gold. 4 to 4.25 stars. This was the second best fight of the night, and a great way to end the first episode of the TBS era of AEW Dynamite. And you saw it. You saw the emotion. You saw the emotion on Jungle Boy's mother and sister, who were in the crowd, especially the sister, man. I mean, you saw how emotional that was. I mean, what a moment that was, and you best believe that Papa Luke Perry is smiling down and saying, "That's my boy. Well done, my boy. I knew you could do it. I knew you had it in you all along." And you better believe Papa Luke is shedding some tears up there right now. So, what a great moment. I mean, we talked about last night with Braun Breaker and Rick Steiner with the special moment they had after Braun Breaker won the NXT Championship. Well, a similar moment here tonight. The only difference was the family couldn't celebrate right away. I'm sure maybe they had an off the air moment, maybe, but what a special moment for these guys. I mean, it's about damn time that Jungle Boy gets that breakout moment. I knew it in my heart that he was due. I knew he was due, and he made it happen here tonight. And he's finally a champion, one half of the World Tag Team Champions, and not only a big moment for him, but also for the man formerly known as Fibara in Lucha Underground, that being the Luchasaurus. I mean, that's his biggest moment. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. So, but a special moment all around, and I'm so damn happy for those guys, especially Jungle Boy Jack Perry. And man, what a fantastic way to end a great first night. So 4 to 4.25 stars. Michael Bullock, I mean, there's nothing more to say. You saw the emotion on the face of Jungle Boy's sister and mother at ringside. And, of course, his father, the late, great actor Luke Perry, Beverly Hills 90210 fame. He's smiling up there. He's shedding some tears up there. But all I can say is when it comes to these guys finally getting their moment and winning the tag team titles, it's about damn time, and they should have been the ones really to dethrone the Young Bucks. But, hey, better late than never. About damn time for these guys. Well deserved.
Yeah, they definitely deserved it. And like you said, Florio, it's better late than ever. And I'm so happy for these guys, especially Jungle Boy. I mean, we all kept wondering, would he ever get a title of some kind in AEW? Well, he got this one, and it's certainly a moment he's going to enjoy, that his family is definitely going to enjoy. And like you said, that his father is probably smiling down and from the heavens, saying, like you said, that's my boy. So 4 to 4.25 stars, second best fight of the night. I mean, this was definitely a great way to end the first night of Dynamite on TBS. I mean, the Luchas definitely had a great. The Lucha Bros had a great run as champions, but I think this was definitely the time for them to drop the belt. So nothing more to say. Fletch, it is yours.
Yeah, this was a great moment to say the very least, to see the history making moment, and I'm so happy for Luchasaurus and for Jungle Boy, especially Jungle Boy. Um, he's gone through so much in the last year and so. He has become the true underdog hero of AEW. To see that moment, to see him win the title in Newark, New Jersey, it's a great moment for him. And now, like you said, you saw all those tag teams that came out after that show was over, after uh, they won the titles. So everybody's gonna be gunning for the tag champions now. They sense fresh meat. We'll wait and see how it plays out. Yeah, nothing more to say. History making moment, and yeah, nothing more to say. This was a great night. Michael Bullock, you lead off on final thoughts for AEW.
All right. I mean, I thought this was a good show, a good start to this the Dynamite era on TBS. I mean, I'll give this 7.5 to 8. I mean, the two matches that really stood out were obviously the AEW World Title match and the tag team title match. I mean, the Malachi Black and well, actually, I'm gonna give it 8. I'm gonna give it an 8 because, like you said, the Malachi and Brian Pillman match was okay. Um, Obviously, the TBS title match was good. Everything else was just was cutouts. So an 8 out of 10 for me. So Fletch, it is yours.
I can go 8 out of 10. No doubt about it. I hate to say this, but NXT won tonight. NXT won this week. I thought their show was a lot more better. Yeah, we had two matches that weren't so great. I wish they would have been better. But at the end of the day, they did all right. I mean, they made it was a good first showing for AEW in on TBS. It was a good showing. I will openly admit that. There was a couple of moments where I wish it could have been a lot more better, but I'm not gonna really hit it hard. I thought they did good. I think it could have been a little better, but just a little, not much, not much. But awesome to say the very least. Incredible show, but I can only give this about 8 out of 10, and and that might be a little generous, but 8 out of 10. Ladies and gentlemen, nothing more to say. Anthony Floyo, you got the final say, bro.
7.5 to 8 for me. It was a bookend show, bookended by two dynamic matches. Hangman Danielson 2 fight of the night started it. The second best fight of the night, the tag title match, ended it. The in between, could have been better, but great crowd and everything else, and some good angle advancements. So not much more for me to say. We started it off with Hangman solidifying and proving his title reign is no fluke, and the crowning of new World Tag Team Champions, and the continued build of a young man in Jungle Boy Jack Perry, who with this win tonight is now on his way to even bigger and better things. And I said it in our big show a few 9 nights ago when I awarded him my Breakout Star of the Year award. That just proved it right there. That proved that was no fluke. And you think this was big tonight, MF? I think 2022 is going to be an even bigger breakout year, because I see that young man going even further, especially with this start tonight. Wrap it up.
All right, we will indeed. And guys, tomorrow night, like we said, will be NFL Thursday. We will go knee deep into the most important matches of the NFL weekend. And of course, we will cap it with the preview of the college football playoff national championship game. It will be Alabama versus Georgia, a rematch of last year's final. We get it again. This time, Lucas Oil Stadium, Indianapolis, Indiana is the location for the final. We're gonna preview that as well. Friday night is Cerebral Smack Talk, SmackDown Live, and yes, folks, we do have a Mikey's Mindset. This week was Wrestle Kingdom, and we have it all. We will go through the 2 nights. History was made from the Tokyo Dome in Tokyo, Japan. We're gonna cover it all, folks. So it's gonna be a crazy night. So for Michael Bullock, for Anthony Floyo, I'm Michael Fletcher. We'll see you guys tomorrow night, 10:30 Eastern, for another edition of the NFL Thursday. So until then, have a great night, everybody.